Before we get into today's video, I have a favor to ask. We are 40 followers away on my personal Twitter account at JackLotteray from getting to 1,000 followers. That is the next big goal I'm trying to get to. And if you want the latest, greatest Red Sox news, rumors, updates, you go over to Twitter, because I am on Twitter all the time, live tweeting the games, tweeting out highlights, putting out the videos, this, that, the other. It's all on Twitter. And I'm going to make a deal for you. The next 10 people that follow me on Twitter, I will shout out in tomorrow's video. That's the deal I'm going to make. So go over there, make sure you hit follow, join me, because I'm tweeting about the Red Sox constantly every single day. Welcome into another edition of the Red Sox Rundown. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm finally going to talk about a take that I have had for a while now that I think is finally time to come to fruition. And then we're going to talk about the Red Sox absolute rout of the Houston Astros last night. It was a fun game. We're going to recap it all. But let's start with this take. And if you saw the thumbnail and you read the title, you already know what I'm going to talk about. It is time, as I get comfortable in my chair, because this is going to get a little testy, I think. It is time for the Boston Red Sox to call up Kristian Campbell again. It is time for Kristian Campbell to get back on this roster. In his last 17 games, and this was before last night's game, which we'll talk about in a second, Campbell was batting .367, 4 home runs, a .600 slugging percentage, and an OPS of .830 on the season. And then last night, he went 3 for 5 with a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. His OPS is up to .849. I had someone in my comments on a post I put on Instagram a few days ago say, well, he's going to need, the question was, should the Red Sox call up Kristian Campbell? And the guy was like, he's going to need 200 at-bats. He just sucks as a hitter. To which I responded, have you been paying attention to what he's doing in AAA? To which they responded, no. That's why I'm bringing this up today. Because Kristian Campbell, if you have not been following him in Worcester, has been hitting the cover off the baseball. Not only that, he's hitting it to the pull side, which was one of the biggest criticisms that a lot of people had at the beginning of this season. And not only that, he's getting his swagger back, which he desperately needed after having horrible months up at the big league level. Now, why is it time now? Because Abraham Toro has overstayed his welcome. He just has. He hasn't looked good. He had the home run 2 nights ago. He had an RBI last night. But overall, if you look at the raw stats, it just hasn't been great. In July, he was batting .221, .574 OPS, 6 RBIs, no home runs, 10 Ks. In August, before last night's game, he was batting .161, a .542 OPS, 3 RBIs, 2 home runs, and 6 Ks. Again, before last night's game. He had a very hot start to the season, which made a lot of people completely buy in, myself included. I thought that him and Romy were perfectly fine, but he has overstayed his welcome. And it's not just that. The defense hasn't been that good either. 2 opportunities last night that I'm not going to call errors, but definitely could be errors that he let go. Now, thankfully, the defense picked him up, but it's just time. I think it's time for Toro to go, and I think it's time to bring back up the young rook who has his swagger back and who has been getting a lot of work at first base. I think it's time, in my humble opinion. But you pick a first baseman for me. Who would you rather have up on the roster? Type AT for Abraham Toro. Type KC for Kristian Campbell. This is going to be the pinned comment, the pinned question on today's video. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break. Go down below while the ad is playing and answer the question. AT for Abraham Toro, KC for Kristian Campbell. Let me know down below in the comments. Like I've already kind of alluded to and like I've already kind of mentioned, Campbell's issue wasn't physical. Now, there were tweaks that needed to be made, of course. But his main problem was mental. Campbell needed to get his confidence back. And he got his confidence back. He got his swagger back. He got everything he needed mentally back to where he was at the end of last season when he was winning Minor League Player of the Year by every sight known to man. Here's what Woo Sox manager Chad Tracy had to say on Kristian Campbell. He said, as I watch him, the at-bats are starting to look more and more like the Kristian Campbell at-bats that we saw a year ago when he got here. So happy with where he's at offensively. I think he's going to keep getting better, and then obviously the stuff at first and second. We're still working hard on improving that too. But I just think it was so obvious that when he came here, he needed some confidence. His confidence was low. And what the past 2 weeks have done, the 15-game hitting streak and a lot of these multi-hit days, like he's playing with confidence again. And I hope he can just carry that all the way through the rest of the year. I'm fully bought in to that fact. It was mental for him. He couldn't hit the ball. He was struggling mightily. He had all of these lofty expectations on him being the lone member of the big three up on the Major League roster. He signed the extension. That's a lot for a rookie to have. And then he completely imploded. He completely forgot how to hit the ball. He lost all the confidence that he had in the world. He needed a reset. He got sent down to AAA. He worked on his stuff. And now he's looking like the Kristian Campbell of old. And I think it's time to get him back up here for a playoff push. Campbell is your future. Whether you like him or not, he is your future. Let's not all jump off the Kristian Campbell train 3 months into his major league season, because I know that everyone was highly talking of him in spring training. Everyone was so excited about him at the end of last year. Everyone was so excited to see him get the extension. Everyone was so excited to see him in the offseason. So let's not act like 2 months of bad baseball is going to derail his career. Fans are so reactionary. Myself included. I'm definitely guilty of that. Fans are incredibly reactionary. And if you have 1 or 2 months of bad baseball, fans will say that they never want to see them on the team ever again. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news to those fans. Campbell is your future. So, see what he has. Again, Toro hasn't been playing that great. He hasn't. Last night's game, highly efficient offensive game for the Red Sox. He contributed the least of everyone. He had a hit, had an RBI, scored a run. Great. But on a night when you put up 14 runs, he was like the least of the contribution of anyone in that lineup. Look, everyone hates Tristan Casas. At least that's what it feels like on social media. I'm a big Tristan Casas guy. I'm a big Tristan Casas truther. You guys know from the preseason and spring training. I was a huge Tristan Casas truther. But everyone else seems to hate him and want him gone. Well, if that's the case, what if Campbell's your future first baseman? Vladimir Guerrero ain't walking through that door. He signed a huge extension with the Blue Jays. Maybe Pete Alonso? I don't know. Maybe Josh Naylor? I don't know. What does it look like in 6 months? I don't know. I don't have that answer for you. But maybe Campbell's your future first baseman. I don't know. See what he has. It's not going to hurt you. Worst comes to worst, he's the same as Abraham Toro. It is what it is. I would definitely give it a shot, but you let me know down below in the comments. Would you call Kristian Campbell back up to the Major League roster to be your first baseman? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I know everyone's going to say the defense. Like I've already alluded to with Abraham Toro, his defense isn't elite either. And apparently, from all reports, Campbell's been playing a pretty good first base. Of course, he has his problems. He's still learning the position in some way, shapes, or forms. But he's way further along than he was a few months ago. So I'd like to see what he's got. Get his bat back in the lineup. Be a little bit of a jolt to a lineup that maybe got a little stagnant at times. I'd love to see it. But again, you let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Would you call Kristian Campbell back up soon? All right, we're going to talk about the game. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We did pass our goal of 4,500 subscribers. Thank you all so much. And like I've already said, we are never satisfied here at the Red Sox Rundown. 5,000 is our next goal. If you want watch parties leading up to the playoffs, the playoff push, which I think is going to be very intense, if you want watch parties for that, and then if you want watch parties into the playoff schedule got announced yesterday. It looks pretty damn good. It looks very exciting. If you want watch parties, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Join us because you never want to miss when a video goes live. Anytime I put out a recap, you don't want to miss it. Become one of the most knowledgeable Red Sox fans in your friend group by subscribing to today's video. Let's freaking go. Red Sox win 14-1. This is the perfect bounce back that you needed after losing 3 straight. You needed this. And look, I'll be the first one to eat crow. I said there's absolutely no way you win that game last night. I said it. I said, is the sweep alive after you lose the Garrett Crochet game? And Dustin May came in and said, hey, Jack, shut the hell up. I'm going to prove you wrong. And he did. Dustin May looked phenomenal. 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks. He looked dominant. He absolutely shut the door on the Houston Astros. He looked great. I'll eat crow on that. I was wrong about that. Of course, I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong. And I was wrong about Dustin May in this scenario. He looked really, really good. Justin Wilson comes in, gives you the 7th. He looks great as well. Only 1 hit, the rest zeros. And then Giovanni Moran makes his Red Sox debut. He gives you 2, which is great. You didn't have to use any other relievers in this game. Fantastic. You can have him today with Walker Buehler on the mound if he only goes 4 or 5 innings. That's really great. He gives you 2, 3 hits, 1 run. There was an throwing error on a double play that probably should have ended the game, and it scored a run, and it is what it is, not a big deal. 1 walk, 2 Ks. You were up 14-0 at that point. 1 run is okay. Now, of course, would I have loved the shutout? Yes, but I'm not going to dwell on it. It is what it is. But the main story of the night was the offense. Like I said, everyone contributed in some way, shape, or form. Everyone had at least 1 hit, except for Ali Sanchez pinch hit for Narvaez at the end of the game. And yeah, but the starters, all of them had at least 1 hit. Roman Anthony goes 1 for 2 with 4 walks. He scores 4 runs. He has an RBI. He has an absolute moonshot of a home run to basically cement that the game was over. That puts you up 9-0. The game was already over, but still. Roman Anthony with an absolute moonshot. Back-to-back nights with the home run. The kid is starting to hit the power a little bit. He's been great with the contact. He's been great getting on base. His on-base percentage tonight took a huge jump. But for him to start hitting home runs, oh man, could he pull off and win Rookie of the Year? I certainly think he could. Really great night for him. Alex Bregman had another great night as well. 2 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 walk. Had another home run tonight, back-to-back nights with home runs. Of course, you knew there was going to be fireworks when he got back to Houston. You knew he was going to show up and show out, and he did. Another home run. Really great to see. Jarren Duran, quiet-ish night. 1 for 4 with a run and a walk. Quiet-ish, but, still did what he needed to do. Trevor Story had a good night. 2 for 5, 2 runs, 2 hits, and a K. Really, really great night for him. Yoshida 1 for 4 with a run, 2 RBIs, with a walk and a K as well. He had a few RBIs tonight, which was really great to see. Talked about Abraham Toro a lot in this video. He went 1 for 6, 1 hit, 1 run. Didn't he? 1 hit, 1 run, 1 RBI. Excuse me. Pretty quiet night for him. Didn't do anything crazy. Wilyer Abreu 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, 1 walk as well. Rafaela 1 for 5 with a run and 2 Ks. And Carlos Narvaez, the knee doesn't hurt. 2 for 4, 2 runs, 3 RBIs. And the biggest hit of the night, really, in my opinion, 3-run shot to put you up 5-0. That's when when you could start to feel that the game was really, really happening. Like the Red Sox were gonna win this game, and that was a huge shift to really get Narvaez to get that power back a little bit. I believe that's double-digit home runs on the year for him. Yeah, it's his 10th home run on the year. Really great to see. The Red Sox came out. They left no doubt after losing 3 straight games. Again, against good teams. Padres are a damn good team. I believe they're a game out of the Dodgers in the NL West. That's a good team. It's a really good team. One of the winners, if not the winner at the trade deadline. Totally get it. The Astros, first place in the AL West. I think tied for first place now with the Mariners winning. But still, good team. You lost 3 straight. it is what it is. But for you to bounce back and blow out the Astros on the road, have Dustin May give you a 6 shut, it's a great bounce back from 3 straight losses. That makes me feel good. That gives me the vibes that this is a playoff contending team. If you're able to bounce back, persevere from a 3-game losing streak, that's the sign of a good team. And I'm very happy about that. Scoreboard watch, and then we will get on out of here. So nothing really changes tonight. All the teams you wanted to lose ended up winning, but you won, so you don't lose any ground. The Tigers did lose to the White Sox. Again, I'm not really worried about the Tigers. They're of no concern to me. The Athletics are up 5-0 on the Rays. Again, neither of those teams really concern me at all. Mariners beat the Orioles 1-0, so they stay where they are. No movement there. The Guardians beat the Marlins 4-3, so they stay where they are. Yankees beat the Twins 9-1. They stay where they are. The Blue Jays beat the Cubs 5-1. Again, they stay where they are. Royals beat the Nationals, and the D-backs did beat the Rangers, so the Rangers lose a game on you. But other than that, everyone else that needed to win won. Let me update the standings here for a second. Still 4.5 back on the Blue Jays. Not a huge deal. Plenty of time left in the season. The Astros and Mariners are currently tied for the final wild card spot because the Astros have been red hot. They've won 8 straight. They've won 9 of their last 10. So they are both you are a game and a half back of both of them, both tied at 67 and 53. So that's really big. You are 1.5 games up on the Yankees, 2.5 games up on the Guardians. So you're still in a comfy spot. And again, the schedule lightens up for the Red Sox substantially coming up in the next few weeks. So, if you could potentially win today, win the series against the Astros, and then go into, I believe it's the Marlins, right? Am I totally wrong for that? But I think it's the Marlins. Yeah, it's the Marlins for a 3-game series. Like, if you can go into that Marlins series, and look, the Marlins are not a slouch either. They've been playing some good ball. But you should, at Fenway, sweep the Marlins, in my opinion. But if you can win this series, take that momentum into the Marlins, you could start another winning streak pretty quickly. And then you play the Orioles at home for a 2-game series, who are not good. And then you play the Yankees, who I don't think are very good. You're going to snowball. You could snowball. The potential here is to snowball. And the Blue Jays schedule is not easy, as far as I know. Like, who do they go on to play next? They play the Pirates. Okay, so that's pretty easy. But then who do they play after that? They play the... Am I just completely wrong? They play the Marlins. Okay, so their schedule's starting to line up a little bit too, but it doesn't matter. You control your destiny. You're in a wild card spot. Continue to win the games. Snowball. Anything can happen. That's the moral of the story. Anything can happen. You let me know down below in the comments. Do the Red Sox win this series? Give me a simple yes or no if you think they do or do not. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Like I said, I'm going to follow back the next 10 followers. Subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 5,000 subscribers. We'll be back with a short later tonight recapping the game. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another full-length video. Make sure you subscribe, lock us in. We are getting into the critical point in the season. Halfway through August, September baseball's coming, and then it's the playoffs. Don't miss out. Join the family. And until next time, go Sox.